playing naked Marco Polo with a lonely divorcee from 3G.
You gotta stop telling me my story.
Hey,
Hey, we are live. Welcome to Where's the Line? Today's show, The Ross Show. All about Ross. Tell me about Ross. Guess I don't pick the topics, it just says Ross up here, man. I took the off Albatross and just ended up with Ross.
sure.
What's going on with Ross? God, you've been on the radio for months and months. You know I'm doing all right. Won't fill much space. There's got to be more than that.
I'm not terrible. I'm not doing amazing. I'm doing all right.
Those are very descriptive words. Give us something that's actually going on. Something solid.
There's not much going on. It's really just I'm vibing. I'm chilling. I don't know what other words to.
Those seem like non-answers.
Okay, maybe.
Those don't sound like they say anything about you.
Okay. Scale from 1 to 10 mentally, I feel like a 5. I'm doing all right.
You're right in the middle. That's the edge. That's not all right. That's the edge.
That's the edge.
Halfway between.
I'd say it's
Up and
halfway
down.
between pretty good too. So
What's getting you?
I mean,
What's on your mind these days?
what's on my mind?
Your mind on your money and your money on your mind.
I feel like I don't do enough, so I just got to do more. I can't be upset that I don't do enough. I just have to do more.
What do you think that do you have to do stuff that helps or stuff you just feel like doing? What would be noticeable?
I feel like I have to do what I feel like helps.
What you feel like helps or what other people think helps? Does it matter what other people feel or not?
I think it matters what I think helps.
Does it matter what they think helps?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
When?
When?
That was the question.
Probably about 50% of the time. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
What matters?
What matters?
What matters? What matters to Ross?
Matters to Rock. Making sure that people are able to get their voices heard.
What does it mean?
What does that mean?
So you found a roundabout way. I know where you're going with this, but
No.
to make it something that it isn't. But okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
I don't want to make it something that it isn't. There's been certain things that people have been constantly asking me for that I haven't gotten done that I need to get done.
Which people are asking? The people for both, providing a studio and
Seth,
trying to
you,
build a. Okay, wait a minute.
Nate,
Where did I fit in?
No,
Wait a minute. Where did
no.
I fit in?
Where do you fit in?
Where did I fit in?
You've been asking for promos. You've been asking for, where's the music show? Or we need to do a music show. Been asking for that. There's a lot of things that.
And so you've cut that to pieces, so that can never happen.
I haven't cut it to pieces, so it can't happen.
There are spaces
I've
between the pieces.
written down the order.
Are there spaces between the pieces? Did we lose stuff?
No.
Then cutting it up for space doesn't make any sense. So either one or the other. You can't be cutting it up for space and keeping it all.
I'm not cutting. Okay. The file type that it is currently in takes up a lot of space. That actual file type takes up a lot of space. So by converting it to another file type, it frees up a lot of space.
And you have to cut it to do that.
No, I don't have to cut it. I can do the
So why
whole
are you
thing.
cutting it?
Why am I cutting it?
Why are you wasting your time with it?
So that I can send
So you
it
can
out
make Seth
easier.
happy.
And I'm writing it down. I'm writing down the
So really,
order
it
so that I
doesn't
can
have
know
anything to do with the
which
studio.
order it was recorded in.
But really, it doesn't have anything to do with the studio. It has to do with the same things as always.
It does have to do.
It has everything to do with what matters to Ross.
It does have to.
Because you could make space quickly if you wanted to. If what it was about was space, you just said that.
I'm literally stopping people from recording because of this. People
Okay.
have been contacting me.
Yeah,
hey,
no, you're
hey,
wasting
wanna
time. I
record and
agree. I agree.
I don't think I'm wasting time. I don't think I'm wasting time.
So you couldn't.
I don't think I'm wasting time because if I never take the time to actually go through and sift through the things that we have, we're never gonna have anything out. Because I'm the one that has to be responsible for putting stuff up. I'm the one that has to be responsible for making sure these files get off this computer. Okay? So I'm making
yeah.
sure that I do that.
So you're wasting a bunch of time in
I'm
between
not wasting a
while
bunch of
you
time. No, I'm doing what I have to do.
you've come up with excuses why people
I'm
can't
not
come
coming up
in,
with excuses.
and
I'm
as
actually
opposed
doing
to
it.
just uploading
I'm not
it
coming up with
just
excuses.
moving
I'm
it in a-
actually doing it.
in pieces instead
No.
of doing it in a quick way. No?
No,
You're not cutting it up into pieces and doing it in smaller pieces so it takes longer?
I'm making it easier for everyone else. That's all I'm doing.
It's not everybody else, just you. There's only you.
No, I'm making it easier for everybody else. It will be easier for me too because
That's
at
the
the end
only
of the
person
day,
you're worried
I
about.
can look at this paper. I can look at this paper. One, I can know all of the stuff we did on this day. Okay?
I'm so excited. And how many days
I'll be able to know. Hold on.
and how many
I'll be able
days
to
have
look
you
at this.
spent going through a single day?
I can look at this paper.
And how many days have you spent going through a single day?
How many days did I spend before that?
None.
Exactly. My
Well,
point
but-
is I'm working on it.
So now you're
You can't just
wasting
keep-
more time on it.
I'm not wasting more time. I'm not wasting time on it. I'm working on it. There's a big
No.
difference on that. There's a big
Yes,
difference.
there
on
is. I agree, and this is wasting time.
I'm working on it.
Okay, you've spent 2 days cutting up one day. We're losing, not gaining. It's really simple math. Okay?
I don't learn how to.
I didn't do it when I was supposed to do it, so
I'm
now I
trying
can't
to
do
learn
any
how to
things
get
I'm supposed to do because I'm wasting my time on the things I was supposed
It's
to do
gonna
then.
take me time to learn how to get faster at it. I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna get done.
Watch. What you do is you select one and you upload it and it automatically converts it. Hey, I helped. Thanks.
No,
Yeah.
those conversion sites don't work because they tell me the file is too long.
Okay.
Okay, there's a better way to do it. I have to export it. I can do it all in the system. I don't even have to do the whole conversion thing.
Yeah, I know it's
I can
unnecessary.
avoid that.
Okay, so we don't really need to convert it either. So now you're telling me even that was a waste of time?
Exporting is converting.
Okay, you just said I don't need
No,
to
but what I'm
convert it.
saying is I don't need to go to a website. I don't need to leave the actual.
That makes sense. I'm
processing
surprised
system
that,
thing.
yeah, I wouldn't have thought you had to. I got stuff over here to switch from MP3s and MP4s. I mean, yeah, that's pretty easy. Lots of stuff for that. I don't understand. You're cutting up music bits. Don't quit using all the other excuses.
I'm keeping the
Do
other
what
bits.
you're-
I'm
do
not
what
just
you're wanting
cutting
to
out
do
everything.
Do what you're wanting to do because it's what you want to do, not because it has anything to do with any other conversation we've ever had. And be honest about it. Go, this is totally unrelated. I sat down and did the music every morning just like I always do, and no conversation we had yesterday mattered. Can we at least have an honest conversation? Hello?
Maybe. But this isn't just my music. This isn't just my music I'm working on.
I know it's just
It's not just sets.
You're not
I have to go through our
You're
stuff
not
with
doing
Najee and
anything.
them.
Yes, but you're not doing anything in any way that is related to anything else we're doing. And you have to at least say that and admit it. That's been all the way. You're doing the same thing you've done all the way along as far as how you cut it up, and now you're claiming it's something new, and there's a reason. And I'm like going, but that's what you've done.
I wasn't doing this before.
But that's how you've always said you were going to do it. You've always said, I'm going to cut it to ribbons, and no, Matt, you can't have any of the content that way.
No, I'm not gonna.
You didn't cut it to ribbons.
It's going to be one thing
How?
all together because I'm keeping track of the order. I'm keeping track of the
So
order
you
so that
cut
I
it
can
into
make it into
you
one
can
thing.
cut it into Lego so you can work harder later.
I'm not.
But that's true. You keep making it harder and harder. And I'm like going, okay, that doesn't make any sense. I'm going to cut it into pieces so I have to put it back together later. I'm making work so I can make work so I can make work. I'm trying to understand. I'm following your logic through.
I'm doing it to solve two problems.
Oh,
I'm
you
writing it
I
down.
love a problem.
I'm writing it down.
Can you give a studio-related problem?
I'm writing it down because I need it. I need it to be ordered, and I need to know what order it was recorded in. And then the reason I'm cutting it up is so that I can send stuff out easier. So that I can say, hey, do you remember we worked on this thing from this day? Oh, I know what I can do. I can go to this day in my notebook and I can look for which
So
file
it's
I
the
need.
same unrelated stuff it's always been.
It's not unrelated stuff.
It is.
It's making things easier for myself. Everything is together. Everything is one big thing, and it's so daunting to look through and cut up and find this one thing. It's so hard for me to find one thing. I just need to be able to find one thing. Okay? I need to make this easier for myself so I can make it easier for other people. Okay? It's not just about me.
It is all about
It's
you.
not
It has
just about me.
nothing to do
No,
with the studio.
I'm not
It's
going to
all
allow
about
you to tell me
music.
that. It's not just about me. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not.
It's just about the music.
It's
I
not.
apologize. You're right.
It's not.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
but you said that the music was a part of the studio, so what does that matter?
Well,
Okay?
if you're making it part of the studio, yeah.
Okay.
If it matters, if the studio is a part of it that matters, but that's the studio has nothing to do with anything you're doing.
Why do you disassociate the music from the studio when it's convenient?
I don't. Why do you disassociate the music from the studio in every way, shape, and form? And
I'm
make
not
it a
trying to.
constantly
I'm
and-
trying to include it
How?
by doing it.
What does that have to do with the studio?
What does that have to do with the studio?
So
You're
you're
going to have promos. You're going to have stuff to push. You're going to have all kinds of things that you want. You're going to have all kinds of things
Out
that
of
you
what?
want. Out of what?
The things that I want. I'm going to get whole shows that
Yes, you're
share
going to get whole shows. You're going to get, this is what we recorded on this day. This is the entirety of it. This is all of what we recorded on this day as one big thing. And you can push that out as one big
Why
thing.
are you cutting?
Why am I cutting
Once
it up?
again,
So
none
that
of
I
it
can
makes
actually
any
find
sense.
stuff. So that I can actually look for stuff easily. That's why. I'm making a table of contents so that I can look for chapters. Okay? Shoot me. I'm trying to make it chapters so that I can go back and look easier. Okay?
The problem is we didn't do any of this along the way, and now we're running back to try and.
Yes. Yes. In the future, I'll be able to do it easier. But I'm saying I'm gonna have to jump over this hurdle. Whether or not you're with me, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry. This is good for the studio. Okay? I'm not gonna let you convince me that it's not.
Once again, you've always had a reason to not listen to me. And I appreciate that you've always figured out a way to scream at me why you're not doing anything I say. And I appreciate that. And I'll keep scheduling time for all of the things you need and work on getting all of the equipment you need. And I will listen to all of the things you need. And I won't ignore you. And I won't scream at you that, nope, I'm just going to ignore you. I've already canceled way too many shows not ignoring you, I suppose. Haven't I? And what you love to do is go, well, yes, but I've decided this has nothing to do with the studio, but it's what I'm doing, God damn it.
I didn't say it has nothing to do with the studio. I'm saying it has everything
No,
to do
you
with the
admitted
studio.
pretty
'Cause
much
the music is a part of the studio. You said that yourself yesterday. Jesus, it's a part of the studio. Stop acting like it's not.
I'm not the one acting like it's not.
You are.
No.
Because you keep conveniently telling me that this is not studio stuff that you're working on. Even though when I tell you, hey, this
You're
is
not
studio
working
stuff,
on it for a studio process. You're not working for a way to put it out for the studio.
I
You're
am.
working on a way, how do I communicate better about
I
the music?
wrote it down for that reason. This is the studio part. This is the studio part.
Oh my God, that's the studio part?
Oh my God.
All 10 lines?
Oh my God.
You're screaming at me. My opinion doesn't matter. It doesn't. You didn't come in here and go, damn, you know what, yesterday I said what matters the most to me is getting these uploads done, getting this stuff taken care of. I'm going to work on that. What
No,
you
I
said
didn't.
yesterday. You didn't say you were coming and do it, but you said it mattered. I don't know. You didn't come in here to try and figure out what the show was going to be about today, did you? You came in here to hurry up and you're worried about Seth. Let's be honest.
I'm not worried about Seth. I haven't thought about Seth in this process. I haven't talked to Seth in this process. I didn't even call him yesterday like I said I was going to.
Why?
Why?
Why are you?
I fell asleep.
Why
I didn't
are you
get around
nuking
to it.
everything?
Okay?
Why are you nuking all of your relationships?
I'm not. Dude.
I'm asking. That's not an attack. That's
I'm not trying to nuke all of our relationships. I'm trying to commit to giving something that I said I was going to give. I said every single time we left the studio, you're going to send me these, right?
I know that.
You're going to send me these, right? You're going to send me these, right? And I
am
said yes. Yes.
I am
for
very
weeks.
much aware, and yes,
For
and I
weeks.
appreciate
And
your,
I feel like shit because I didn't get it out.
yes,
Okay,
I
didn't get
appreciate
it to
that your
him.
promises to him
I also
actually
told
matter.
you. I also told you that we were
I
gonna have a music show.
appreciate that your
No.
promises to
I also
him
told you
matter.
for weeks. I also told you for weeks that we were gonna have a music
And
show.
did you?
We don't.
I
For the
appreciate
reason
that
that I
your
didn't actually
promises
commit
to
to it.
Seth matter
I
to
didn't
you.
commit to it.
You did multiple times.
No, I didn't.
Multiple
No, I
times.
didn't.
Multiple
No,
times when I was.
by commit,
Oh
I mean
my
sitting
God.
down and doing what needed to be done to actually give it to you.
Oh, I meant the physically actually.
I meant
making
actually doing
I
it.
meant the promises to me as opposed to the promises to Seth.
I mean the promises
So
to you.
go take
That's
care
what
of
I'm
the-
talking about.
Yes, go
Did you
take
not
care-
listen to what I just said?
Yep, I did. Go take care of the promises to Seth. I'm sorry you haven't
No,
followed through
you
on that.
heard that part. You didn't hear the second part where I was talking about. I also told you I need you. You said let's work on a show.
I know
told
which
you
part.
okay, that would be dope. That would be dope if we had a music show. I didn't actually put in any work to do
I
it.
see which part you're actually working on.
Okay.
You're
Okay,
screaming
keep-
at
keep
me
going.
about how there's two. What?
There is two parts.
What are you?
There is two parts.
What did
It's
you
not
just say
not
to
a part
me?
in my head.
What did you just say to me?
It's not a
no,
part in my
before
head.
that. Which part do you think
You're
I'm lying
ignoring
about?
the other part.
That's because you're not working on that part.
I am.
Where? When?
They're writing it down. I'm working on it. I'm telling you. I'm not ignoring you, man.
I'm writing it down.
I'm not ignoring you.
I'm making these pieces for Seth.
I
but
never write anything down, dude. I'm not ignoring you,
I'm
man.
at least taking notes for Seth.
I'm not
And I have some
ignoring
notes here
you.
you can look at too.
I'm not, dude. I'm not ignoring you. You're not a part of what I'm doing. I'm trying to help to the best of my ability, man.
Okay, thank you.
And you keep acting like I'm not trying to help.
Thank you. Seth and I appreciate it. You explain to me why 4 weeks of promises to him mattered to you and we're fucking you up. How should I take that? I feel good about that statement.
I didn't say you're fucking me up.
No, I said
I
4
didn't
weeks.
say you're fucking me
That's
up.
not what I said. First off, I said you said that 4 weeks
Okay.
of promises to Seth is fucking you up.
Yeah.
How do I feel about 6 months when what matters is your 4 weeks of promises to Seth? That's how that hits me. That's how that hits me hard in the face. That's how it
Do you not see that I've also
kicks
been
me in the
promising
balls.
you the same, not the same things, but I've been promising you similar things. I've been promising you a lot more that I haven't delivered on. Yes,
Yes, and who's the priority?
that's not the priority. You're both a thought in my head. I can't ignore either of you. You're both annoyingly in my head. You have free rent space. I'm sitting around thinking about what I'm supposed to do when I'm watching TV. And no, I can't watch TV. I have to do something else. I gotta work on something because I ignored these people for months. I ignored you for months. I ignored him for weeks. Okay? These little things that I threw out as a promise that I didn't commit to, that I didn't actually back up with
Do you get the
anything.
part where what I feel like is the redheaded stepchild in this situation?
Why do you feel like the redheaded stepchild?
That you're worried about the child you love and you feel bad because, yeah, you also ignored all the promises to the redheaded stepchild. Don't get me wrong, you've been
I'm
promising him shit for months. The redheaded stepchild is easy to ignore. And then when you're like, oh my God, but I love this guy, I gotta fulfill my promises
I'm
for
coming
him.
to you trying to admit that I fucked it all up. I told everyone I've seen over the past couple months, I told them I could do things that I didn't do. I told them I can do this, and I didn't do it. Okay? I'm trying to remedy that. In all cases, I'm trying to remedy that. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take me working at it. It might just take me being an asshole. Okay? It might just take me getting back to.
Actually, being an asshole is what's working against you and making this fail horribly.
Okay. All right.
For the
I'm
record,
sorry.
the
I'm
asshole
sorry.
part is making
I'm
it
sorry.
so it's totally
I shouldn't
empty
be an
and
asshole.
just shitty.
I shouldn't be an asshole about it. I'm sorry. I fucked it all up. I fucked up. I'm trying to tell you right now that I messed up. I want to fix it. I don't want to keep telling you guys I'm going to do things and
But
then not doing them.
it
I don't want
feels
to
like
keep doing that.
But you get how it feels like okay, so what you could have done
Okay.
is if, as I suggested months ago, you and Seth had a private page, you could have been putting it just all up there directly and you both would have had access to cut whatever the fuck you wanted out of it. without going
He
through all
can't
of
do
this.
that. He doesn't have a computer. He's not going to do that.
Phone, you'd be amazed.
He's not going to do that.
Okay, that's on him.
Well, I'm the producer. I have to do the producing. Shocker.
Yeah, but the problem is it's in the way of actually creating a studio. That you're right, we're this far behind and I can't live in the past and I gotta go into next month and I can't play this fucking game for another 30 days. I don't have another 30 days to play this game. I wish I did, dude. I've given you every bit of time I can. It's May. We've been pushing hard for 4 months on the music side. And you're looking at me now going, well, I'm cutting it up. Months ago, I said I needed a show.
I'm telling you right now, I can give you.
And I love that.
That's it. I'm telling you right now, I
don't
can
think
give you a
we're-
show. I know that my words don't mean shit because I've not done anything about the words that I've given people and shit. But you know what? That's gotta change. Okay?
I love you and I believe in you. What hurts the most right now is feeling like I'm floundering and everybody else matters.
I want to help this thing go so much. So fucking much. Okay? I don't want to see you stressing. I don't want to see you lashing out because you're stressed about money. I know you. You would rather be thinking about anything but money. I know you, man. Okay? And I'm trying to help to the best of my ability. This is the best I got. I'm trying to do better. I haven't been doing good for months. The best I was doing was when we first started. When we first started, I was energized and I was going and I was the fucking Energizer Bunny. I had my headphones on all goddamn day because I was worried about doing shit.
You miss your meds.
Probably, yeah. I probably need to get back on my meds. Yeah, I need to text some lady had reached out to me saying that she took over from my nurse. I need to reach back out to her.
To some extent. I mean, I did not, for the record, I was not in any way pushing for that thought to come out of you.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No.
But it was
it's not a negative
noticeable.
thing. It's a thought I've been having too.
It was as you said, well,
Yeah.
yeah, but I was so productive here. And I'm like, oh,
Yes.
I didn't even think of that.
Yes. I thought of that. I've been thinking of that. I'm tired of letting people down, man.
No.
And it feels like I can't do anything. And I'm tired of feeling like I can't do anything. So I'm doing something. I'm trying to give back some sort of thing that I've been promising. I feel like I've been telling people that I could help them for so long without actually helping or without actually backing it up with anything. I'm pretty sure you can relate. Because from the conversations we have, it seems like you used to be that person.
No, my problem was
Or at least to some extent. I don't
I'm
know.
I'm the one that
To some
backed it up
extent,
for everybody and saved everybody his ass and then constantly felt that way. That no, I'm
Constantly felt like you weren't giving enough. Is that
in general no, constantly felt like I wasn't appreciated.
okay?
I've been that open giving guy that I am for a very long time, and the problem is it always ends up feeling like you're open and giving, but guess what? That's just because people are taking. The problem is that I love giving, and it's great when it's a circle, but it's harsh when it's not. When it feels like there's just somebody else lining up to take advantage of the fact that I care.
I had several people call me fake.
Well, you fake.
Yeah, and it shocked me, but it made me reevaluate how I interact with people and what I tell people.
Were you fake in those
what
moments?
I conversate with people about. Yeah,
What,
I think so.
Can you give me more?
I can give you some context. Yeah. I have a habit with girls
Mm-hmm.
of like telling them, like, being very, very compassionate and very, very like good at listening sometimes, and then I pull back, and it starts to, I start to act very distant, and the more like some,
You shut down and act like stuff doesn't matter.
yes, I shut down and act like stuff doesn't matter, and
I've seen that.
the change is noticeable. The change is very noticeable,
Mm-hmm.
and I could see how people would see that as me being fake, or just me texting people and not responding, or like,
The hard part of having good friends is being one. It's the
yes,
follow up. It's
I'm not
good
a
friends
very-
is all about follow
I'm
up.
not a very good friend, generally speaking. At least I don't believe I am. But I want to work on it. Separate from that, I want to actually work on something. I've been sitting around for months claiming that I was working on something, but I wasn't. I was sitting around watching TV, being comfortable, doing what I used to do when I was younger. I haven't actually grown up. I mean, I've grown a little bit, maybe mentally, but
You've grown a lot in the last year.
tangibly, I'm not even sure. I'm not even
Tangibly,
sure.
no, you're not any taller.
No.
Uh-huh. Well, actually, you've got a couple extra inches of hair than you did, but
I just mean, like, in the way of being more productive and getting more things done. I'm not sure that I've actually gotten better. I'm not sure that I've actually grown. And one of the pieces is I need to get back on my meds. I need to get back to talking to my therapist again. I haven't talked to her for a month, I believe.
a month. It's longer.
I believe
Yeah,
it's been a month, maybe a month and a half.
it's longer. Yeah.
It's longer.
Oh my God, it's been a while.
Um,
Well, unless you did, maybe there was a Zoom, but I thought the only Zoom
No,
you missed.
there was a Zoom, and then the next week it didn't. I stopped.
Yeah.
It ends up feeling like I've always been in the doldrums, and I've never actually pushed past it.
It's been 50 years.
I've
in
been-
doldrums.
Yeah, it's easy. It's very easy to just make excuses and to just sit there and just not do things, do other things.
Well, and I will tell you that no,
I know.
as mammals go, we are the best at coming up with,
Reasons not to change.
well, reasons why what they're doing is the right thing.
Mm.
We can justify anything we're doing. That will go, well, yeah, I'm doing it for this reason, but I can come up with a why this becomes the other reason kind of stuff. Like why we motivate. Humans are great motivators. We're great at telling ourselves whatever lie we need to hear.
I guess I want to improve,
Yeah.
and I want to feel like I'm working on something that matters, that people need,
I agree.
that people want,
That's my goal.
that people care about,
That's my goal.
and I have been spending a lot of time on this. That's true. I also know
I
that
do care about
a
that.
lot
The
of
hardest part is,
a lot of the 2 days I've spent working on this has been me ignoring it,
well, the
or
worst
at
part
least a
is,
good amount of it.
the worst part is I always get painted into the role of antagonist.
Mhm.
As it's reasonable to go, wait a minute, you're 2 days working on a 1 day project that should have taken a few hours. It becomes a screaming match about how I'm a bad guy. Does that make sense? And then how could I possibly suggest this reality that we both know is true?
I don't think that you're a bad guy. I think that I haven't been doing a good enough job at actually finishing the task that I set out to do. I keep distracting myself. I keep finding reasons to distract myself. Fuck, I probably shouldn't even have my phone in the same room. Between playing games and scrolling through Instagram, dude, I'm a fucking mess, man.
How much are you posting to IG?
No,
Do you have any way to post any of these bits?
I can't.
Well, except they're music, so then you got to find video to go with them. You got to find something else to put with them.
Okay. Yeah.
Problem is you can't steal it from the play. You got to go, because if you go on IG,
Mm-hmm.
be very careful about what images you use, because they use image back searches.
Really?
Well, you're more likely to get somebody, yeah.
Okay.
Because there are people that's how they make their living.
Right.
Is images on Instagram.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know how long a video you can put on IG. I don't know how long that allows for. Or how long TikTok
I
allows
believe
for.
it's a minute. I think Reels can.
But it's as simple as if you guys put an hour out of however many hours you put into a week, not this week, because we decided we were taking this week off. I don't know how we're going to, anyways. These other problems. But even just getting together and to do some promos. Pick a goofy beat that's a minute long that you guys just play with a few times. I don't know. Rap about the studio. Hello. Do some promo work for the people paying all the bills. Not me, the studio. You know? Everybody treats it like it isn't a real thing. It's like my issue when I was in a relationship where there were 3 of us. I said from the beginning, the only way it works is if the relationship exists as a separate person we have to take care of.
Right.
It only works if it's a separate person we have to take care of. The studio isn't me or you. Because the problem is I end up endlessly the antagonist fighting for the studio's existence.
I don't want you to feel like you have to fight for the studios. I don't want you to think. I don't want you to think that the studio isn't in my mind. Does it sometimes fall out of my purview? Yes, that's true. Is it helpful when you remind me, hey, does the studio need this? Yes.
Here's my question. This all disappears tomorrow because Matt's got to go back to work full time. Where's the music come from?
Where does the music come from?
If this all has to disappear tomorrow because Matt has to go to work full time,
Okay.
where's the music go?
Good question.
That's my point. That's my point. That our baby makes all those pieces go. If our baby can't go on its own, all those pieces crash. Because we go to work.
Also, I don't want to be a single note, and we've constantly been talking about this. The whole single note thing is
I want a
swirling
program
around
yes.
in my head.
I want the
a lot.
infectious nature. I want, and you know what? Do what you're going to do. Give me a show by the end of the week. Cut up whatever you're cutting up. If you think you've got a show and that one that you've cut up, put together a show.
I'm gonna have to work on it. I'm gonna have to not go anywhere for like the next couple of days. I'm gonna have to sit here in front of this computer and just work.
Nope, I'm throwing you out tonight to watch Sling Blade, though.
Well, it's not yet, but
It doesn't have to be that way.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be that way.
well, I think
You know what?
I
If you
don't
have
think
short clips you want to start throwing up on Spotify, throw them up on Spotify. Label them something. Get something. I don't. It's the difference between are we at studio or a podcast. I'm not a fucking podcast. I'm not a podcaster. I'm a guy trying to run a studio where other people's voices can get heard. My voice is here. Yay, my voice is here. Everybody's heard too much of my shit anyways. Jesus Christ, I'm sick of my shit. Well,
shut the fuck up. Stop talking.
the point is there's
Sorry.
more to who we are.
Yeah.
That in order to kick this Kickstarter off the ground, I have to have interviews live already, I have to have music live already, and I have to have the podcast. The whole point of the Kickstarter is this stories program, and
Right. If there's no stories to
if there's no interviews out there for them to go, wow, no, they're really good at this, I want there to be more of this, Then why would you?
I can see it from family members. I'm lying. They do have pretty interesting lives.
Well, the other thing is, get them on the phone and you do an interview. Tape it. There are ways to do interviews above and beyond whether or not they're in the studio. You know, reach out to family members and tape them telling stories about you and use those as promos. Cute little stories. I don't know. You know, no one's always supposed to know. And I don't know how I'm handling it is I know I don't know. That no, I went off to the crazy camp to check to see if I was crazy when I even started having these ideas. When I went off the rails from everything about the way modern society decides people should support themselves and said no. And on top of it all said, oh yeah, and by the way, I'd like to take a vow of poverty so that nobody thinks it's my money. That nobody thinks I'm here because of Matt and a podcast.
Well, the whole knowing thing has to exit my mind. Because I can't keep acting like I know better, but I don't do better.
You don't get the right to preach if you're not in the arena.
I'm constantly doing research on the best ways to pull up. I never actually.
I hope what I'm pushing for is the things that, dude, your stuff matters.
Dude, for a year and a half before I met you, I was like, there was a studio down the street from me
Mm-hmm.
that I never called. I never actually walked.
But you thought about
there.
it regularly.
I thought about it regularly, but I never actually did anything with it. I never actually went in there and said, "Hey, can we record something, or how does this work? Do I have to go get a job so I can pay you guys? Like what? How's this gonna work?
The
out?"
studio time.
Exactly.
Thing, right.
How does the studio time thing work?
So is that where your buddies go? Is that where Don used to go?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure that it's a specifically rap. I don't know what they do over there. I've never been there. I don't actually know what they do over there. I just like looked it up online. But
How much music have you made in the last 6 months?
in the last 6 months,
Have you made more music, do you feel like, in the last
think
6
so,
months
yeah.
than ever before? I don't
think
know.
So. I definitely think so. There's some songs that I lost, but it wasn't even close to the amount of songs that I have now. Not even close. Having
Songs that
another
you lost
person,
where, on that
having
hard drive?
another person around me constantly made it a lot easier to do more.
You mean Seth or me?
Both, but more so you, because you've been around me a lot.
Okay. No, I know.
Because
But I also, no, I was relating to it's got to feel better to have somebody else that relates more directly to that dream.
it is good, but I never felt 100% comfortable writing around them because it felt like they were always like rushing to get it done. Whereas like when I'm around you, it's a lot easier for me to just, or at least for the first couple months, it was a lot easier to just sit down and write.
Right.
And not feel pressure to rush to have anything done. To just let my creative juices like come out.
The worst part is what happened once we tried to start doing uploads.
Mhm.
Was then, and I remember you were working on music, and I looked at you and I said, the worst thing is that you're pushing me to the point where I resent the music. That the music became consistently more important.
I don't think that that's a negative thing that you told me that. I think it's a positive because had you not told me, one, resentment would have built more, and I think I would have gone on doing the same things, not knowing that it was a thing that I had to think about.
Well, but the worst part is,
or at least not.
the last thing I wanted it to do, though,
Mhm.
was become the thing that was making you not do music. That the point was not this doesn't matter, it was this matters too. And I feel like we constantly get into a which one matters more.
Well, it stops me, but it doesn't stop me, and I recognize that it stops me in that yes, it's a thought.
But then you feel like
and
you're sneaking around.
Sometimes I feel a lot of guilt, and I'm not able to actually do music. But sometimes I don't think about it, and I just push past it. So it really depends on the situation. Yes, I've still been able to work on music. Not as much, but I've still been able to work on music. That's consistent. I can say that.
You have more access to a studio than you did when you lived next to it. Never went.
True.
I'm not charging you.
And what I would love to do.
Love to do. What would Ross love to do?
Get to a point where I can just work on things when I need to work on things. But what I've also realized is I have a backlog of things that I haven't worked on. Studio stuff, uploads, YouTube, recordings. Man, there is so much shit that I've just left to sit and said, I'm gonna deal with that later.
Right?
And the amount of things is too much. So, what I need to do, I need to cycle through and organize it. And I need to do it as fast and as efficiently as possible so that
That's the hard part.
that by the time Monday hits, I want to be back on track. That's my goal. That's what I'm really shooting for. I don't want it to be a amorphous thing. I want to have everything uploaded on YouTube. I want to have everything uploaded on Spotify. I want to have these things done. But the only way that I'm gonna get close to getting them done is if I chip away at every piece.
What if
I keep chipping away. That's it. That's all I gotta do.
What if you made a list of, okay, this is what I'm doing, and you just dedicated an hour to it every day?
I need more than an hour, but yeah, that a lot of that, a whole bunch of that.
I mean, the goal is for it to not feel like a weight. He said as it all feels like a weight. Damn, I'm almost out of the picture.
Well, it
When I
doesn't.
sit like this, oh, there we go.
I'll tell you this: it doesn't feel like a weight until I realize how much I've ignored. Like, it takes me a second to get there and to realize, okay, you've been ignoring this.
Well, it ends up showing up in mine is that I'm not online much. I have trouble doing the social media part.
Mhm.
Because
Because you're like, there's other stuff that.
well, not even, no, I need
Okay.
to do that, and I can't. So to do it well,
Mhm.
I have to be present in it.
Mhm.
I have to be reading other people's experiences and providing mine, and
Right.
it's
You
very
have to be able to give it your full attention.
I avoid it. I mean, I end up with, dude, I get the weirdest people reaching out. And, like, I'll know that it's, like, I was catfished hard last night. And I knew it had to be because, or at least I think it was. The guy claimed he was the head of UN forces in Seoul, Korea. Paul La something. Look, Lacoste. No, not Lacoste. It wasn't the house. It was the camera. La Camera or something. La Camera.
La Camera.
Something like that.
Was
Anyways,
it Italian or was it French?
no, he's English. He's an American.
He's an
and
American. Okay.
He's a widower. He's got a son that's in the army. It was
Okay.
like he said there were pieces of information he knew, but then he pushed for my phone number, and then he pushed for my Gmail. Didn't ask for my email. Said, "Can I get your Gmail?"
Strangely specific.
Well, and then you go, okay, this has got to be some way to spearhead,
Right.
a Trojan horse into my phone.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm good with that.
I would.
We
think
talked a little bit more, and then he reposted the "Can I get your phone number?" with a question mark, and I was like, hey. I was thinking about calling Soul and going, hey, can I talk to blah 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 blah.
Right.
You know what? I just got to know, dude. We weren't talking last night, were we? And I'm assuming
Right.
the head of UN command in Seoul, South Korea, would be like,
No, we weren't. I don't remember you. Or something. I don't know. Maybe. Uh,
I feel like lately I'm drawing a lot of attention from bot farms. And I don't know what it is. Something I'm doing is causing people to take notice outside of the people.
that you want to talk
Was it Vladimir Putin's PP that caused the problems? Maybe.
about.
It started with that guy. I had the guy that came after me about Putin, which was really weird. Like, he was all pro-Trump and was defending Putin, which was kind of next level. Ironic, but then I've got a bunch of them that I know are people that are like, they'll text you to go, hey, I could get you this many people to follow you.
A lot of people do that. There's a lot of that going on.
And then last night, yeah, I had a couple. I get that.
There's like, there's levels to the bots because some of them are very, very obvious, and some of them are a little bit more sneaky.
This was noticeably a bot last night because the funniest was, so they said, well, why did you text me? I said, well, for some reason, you were on my mother's Facebook requesting her become your friend. And being that I'm a fairly public persona,
Right.
and I'm the son of a retired colonel from the Army Corps of Engineers. He's in the Army. B, I lived in Thailand. So the fact that you're in Southeast Asia, I'm interested in. C, I was going through it, and these are the whys I messaged, and the only response back was, wow. I'm like, I think I officially beat your bot there, bud, because it would go, I thanked him for his service, and when I said thank you, it immediately said thank you back.
That's weird, bro. That's just weird. Like, that's weird.
I'm proud of my bots to some extent.
Man, I remember I used to text bots just to like, just for fun,
Well, I started off,
as something to do.
so when I started being more public on Facebook, I would get those bots. Do you want to promote your podcast? Do you want to promote this? Do you want to promote that? And what I would do is they would usually send me Sling Nights, and I'd send them a GIF, anyways, about how fake they like. I would just send one after another, because if you're in Facebook Messenger, you can go and I'd call them out as fake, and then I'd use some GIF that asked a question, and then I'd play over and over again the fingers tapping, waiting for them to answer.
I started treating them like they were real until they asked for money, and then I just, where I'd say, hey, I don't want to pay for anything.
Well, and if in the end I get a hold of the head of UN forces in Seoul, South Korea, he'd be a great member for, I guess, the men's leadership group.
Right?
Yeah.
That's an actual.
There was a weird, are you happily married? I got that from multiple people last night.
Happily married.
Yes.
A strange question.
Especially from a commanding officer.
It's a strange question.
It made more sense when it was a woman in Jakarta.
Yeah.
And I could go, hey, no. And she goes, I'm sorry, I sound so
She said,
desperate.
are you married? Right? And then if it,
No, it
depending
wasn't.
on if they're interested, the next question is, are you happily married?
Right? Well, no, and so one of them, I actually said, I've been married for 20 years. And they said, well, are you happily married? And I'm like,
Well,
yes, I'm
wait
all
a
good.
second.
Really.
Chill out.
I've moved beyond that. That's not where my focus is. People are human. And I'm charismatic. And even on the internets, yes, I get that constantly. I need to quit using my James Bond photo. We need to get a photo of me where I look wretched. I have gone through whole parts of my life where I've tried to hide and not be seen. Being seen thing is very scary for me. Time and again, what would happen is I'd feel seen, and I'd run away from it because it would be attention from women. It would be that it was not fulfilling. It felt like it wasn't about me. The people become very attached to me in a way that doesn't feel. It feels like their perception of me versus who I am.
I would also. Like I'd go for like. Sometimes I'd wake up and I'd just be like, you know what? I'm gonna text every single girl on my phone and see what happens. Literally.
Man,
Exactly.
I
That's attention. That's concerning behavior.
I'm out on the internet not wanting to be seen, just wanting to make it so my friends can see each other.
Mm.
And that's really hard because that doesn't really work that way.
Right.
I've been really bad. I mean, we're out of money again, so I haven't been promoting the studio at all. Doesn't mean I couldn't be sharing stuff. I can't. I've just been very. Nobody's watching it. Nobody. You know, I keep trudging along. I mean, I get to claim that I have more episodes than most podcasts ever make already, because we've already gotten there.
Yep.
That's because we were always not a podcast. That's why it's a weekly show instead of the traditional. And that's why it's not as planned. It's like a show on a radio,
Well,
not a show on
I've also had the thought of
penis.
when we get more
Penis.
content, there's more access, more talking to more people, about actually having content to back it up.
Well, and
Yeah.
people are more likely to sit and listen to a 3-minute or 4-minute music something, or even a half-hour music something. And it may draw them back here to go, okay, what are these guys doing?
I can tell people all day we have a podcast, but if you're not a person who listens to podcasts,
Who cares?
exactly.
I'll be honest, my people that do listen to podcasts don't listen to us.
And then you add in a music thing that gets a little bit more people. Most people like music, generally speaking.
Right.
Then you add in stories. That gets a different audience than maybe even the podcast. It might be similar, but it still crosses over and it gets more people.
I don't get to interview Ice Cube and Willie Nelson unless we get the interviews going. Well, that I have to give right. Yeah. I've got to have interviews out and I've got to have music out.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Ice Cube and Willie Nelson are coming to the Ohio State Fair. And I would like to be listed as one of the people that gets to talk to them. I'd like us to walk into the back room as the people interviewing.
I've also had the thought of, like, it sounds weird, but media-wise, we can't talk to, like, media people or, like, other podcasters or any of that just because of the fact that we're just doing a podcast. Because if you think about it, right?
No, I have podcasters that will talk to us.
If you want people to know about what we're doing,
right?
One of the best ways to do that is to go to other people that already have an audience and say, hey, we're doing a whole bunch of stuff over here. I don't know if you're interested, but we're doing a whole bunch of stuff over here.
I have more successful podcasters that are interested in talking to us.
Exactly, like stuff like that. And I know that most of that rests on me and you sitting down and getting done what we need to get done and talking about it and communicating what needs to be done. And
well, the hard part is scheduling in a way we both believe in.
Yes.
Because I can't just schedule interviews and go, hey, I'll just make sure I kick Ross and make sure he's awake for that.
Right.
I need.
You need me to be here and
I mean, we've talked.
I don't have to participate a whole bunch in the story
right,
thing, but I'm going to by proxy.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Well, more like I'm a producer and I'm talking.
Exactly.
The plan right now is to move the video to the glorious Matt and then have somebody on the phone.
Right.
And then we're both. That way, it also makes it so you can be doing research and nobody can see you.
Exactly.
That you're rolling to your
It's
computer.
more of a Joe Rogan podcast thing. It's the guy in the background who's like throwing stuff up on the TV and stuff.
There is that.
So.
We don't do much throwing stuff up on the TV. Well, so what'd you think? It was the Ross show today. Thought we got somewhere.
I think so.
Don't blame me. It was that when I looked at Albatross, I realized that if I just took enough letters off, it said Ross. Get your Albatross here.
The thing about going to mostly black schools is that I never got to.
You know what? I was so proud. Yesterday, I left after the Albatross show. And when I made the reference to my therapist, he immediately knew that I was referencing the Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and laughed.
Really? That's so dope.
So, just so you know.
That's cool.
Albatross. Get your Albatross here. I love you guys. Everybody have a great weekend. A little longer.
I think we worked through something.
I think we talked about it as opposed to avoiding it. I think talking about it on air, we tend to talk about it as opposed to